Hi, everybody. I'm Geraldo, and we are live and at large. And coming up, one of the world's most resilient conspiracy theories that the moon landing, whose 40th anniversary we are all celebrating this weekend, was actually fake. The theory has gained momentum when NASA admitted that it had lost the original footage of man's first steps on the moon.
YouTube and watch A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. It contains newly discovered evidence, which is part of the missing tapes, of outtakes from the first mission to the moon, of them falsifying a shot of being halfway to the moon. You have to ask yourself, if Lindbergh flew across the Atlantic in 1927, would it be 50 years before anyone of any nation on Earth flew across the Atlantic in an airplane? And that's what we're to believe. If it were so easy to go to the moon 40 years ago, there would be bases there by now, by the United States, Germany, China.
Hold on, Bart. So you're saying, and you know, it's an argument that has some resonance, that if the moon landing was possible 40 years ago, why haven't we replicated it very often since the initial landings between 1969 and 1972? Is that your basic point?
Well, that's one of the points. First of all, we found never-before-seen footage of them faking part of the photography, which is in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon, which has been licensed 5 times and can only now be viewed on YouTube.
Like what? You're saying that, for instance, there's no stars in the original video. Couldn't that be a function of the fact that the video was not enhanced and not digitally remastered, that the quality, you know, even now we see loss of quality sometimes with satellite transmissions, etc.?
Well, their excuse that there are no pictures of the stars because the iris was closed is true. The fact is they took no pictures of the stars by themselves with an exposure setting perfect for them. They took a Jeep to the moon, but they never took a telescope because they weren't there, and they had no way of accurately faking the constellations,
and where
which may someday prove to be non-existent.
Were they in Hollywood? Where were they?
Well, they were probably at a military base, one secure, that makes secret aircraft.
In Roswell, New Mexico, maybe? It could be.
Well, you know, you say you're open-minded. I hope you got a chance to watch the film.
No, dude, listen, I'm listening.
Footage.
I am absolutely listening. But let me bring in someone to help you.
Have you seen the movie?
I haven't. I don't go to the movies very often, and that's not the top of my list.
No, the DVD of the fake photography.
Oh, I haven't. But we'll show everybody whatever we have. Let me bring on someone to assist you. My next guest, Aaron Rainin, started out believing the official version of history, which is what I and most people believe. But interestingly enough, but let me interrupt myself, in 1999 when they took a Gallup poll of whether or not Americans felt the moon landing was fake, 6%, only 6% said they thought it was fake. But in 2005, 2006, another survey done just of young people, too young to have witnessed the 1969 landing, found that almost 25% of young people 18 to 35 believed, you know, that 25% believed that the moon landing was fake, so of the youngsters. So that is quite a substantial number. And one of those converts to disbelieving the moon landing is my next guest. When he heard about the erased NASA tapes 5 years ago, he also became suspicious that the United States had engineered what essentially was a gigantic hoax as Cold War propaganda to scare off the Soviets. Here is his confrontation, our poor old pal Buzz, and also more from Bart. Watch.
Buzz Aldrin is the second human being to allegedly walk on the moon's surface.
Where were you on July 20th, 1969?
I was on the surface of the moon.
I want you to swear to God on the Bible that you walked on the moon.
Okay.
If you walked on the moon, we're given the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you if you don't leave me alone.
You're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator in NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight.
I don't hit people, but you're going to be on the deck unless you get...
I'm heading out. I appreciate it.
And get the hell out of the clubhouse.
Those astronauts are punching dudes. I like that. But anyway, Aaron, you know, tell us why you have changed your mind and now become a skeptic.
Sure. Thanks for having me on, Geraldo. I really appreciate it. Well, let me first clarify. I was paid by the state of Ohio in 1999 to spend a year trying to prove we actually landed on the moon. And I was a total believer, Geraldo.
Wait. You were paid with taxpayer money from the state of Ohio?
The state of Ohio. Yeah, the state
Who's
of
the
Ohio
governor?
said-
Another issue, but go ahead, tell us more.
Anyway, so I took a year and I traveled across the country, and folks, I've actually posted it on YouTube. It's called Did We Go? And the challenges, Geraldo, everywhere I went, it was just amazing. Moon rocks falling in Antarctica, Neil Armstrong's silence. But I was the first to report, and you played the clip earlier tonight, that all the science data, the telemetry data was missing. Now, Geraldo, for NASA to come out and say that all the tapes were erased, I mean, it's incredible. Geraldo, this isn't just one tape. This is rooms of tape labeled Apollo 11 moon landing. Someone had to physically go and erase it. And it just, you know, I really, in my heart, Geraldo, I want us to go. And I know all your viewers want us to go. But if you watch my film over and over again, and I don't know if you have the clip of me trying to laser range off the moon, but even after I successfully laser ranged off the moon, it turns out the Russians had landed all these unmanned probes on the moon with laser reflectors. The challenges in trying to prove we landed the moon are great, and I hope we landed on the moon, but come on, Geraldo.
Okay, let me bring us back down to earth, folks. We're also joined in L.A. by Bill Nye, the science guy. Bill's an educator, engineer. We trust him. He contributes to The Skeptic magazine, which might be appropriate for this topic. But Bill, Aaron's right about erasing these tapes. I mean, I don't believe for a second that we faked this thing, but how in the world do you erase the tapes of the most historic event in 2,000 years? I mean, it's not like it was a bar mitzvah. You know what I mean?
So let me start with this. What tape are you showing if all of the tapes were erased?
Well, they lost them for 5 years.
No,
they found them in the files, they said, in Australia, and they're enhancing those. I mean, it seems, you know, it gives
I can clarify that if you want.
No, okay, it's my turn, kids. Okay. So what happened apparently is they lost one tape, and it was in Australia, which is part of the Deep Space Network, the DSN. And this is these are NASA tapes, literally on the other side of the world from headquarters. One of them got misplaced. People believe, quite reasonably, that this tape was especially high quality, and it got lost. Stuff happens. It's 40 years ago. It does not in any way qualify as evidence that NASA faked it. By the way, I watched both of your YouTube videos. I must say, remarkably uncompelling. I got to tell you, hardly any evidence at all there for me that the stuff was faked.
Okay,
By the
quick
way,
rebuttal
if you were
from
fake
Bart,
it, why
Bart
would you
Sibrel.
fake it
Bart
six
Sibrel.
more times?
Bart Sibrel, you want to quickly
first of
rebut?
all,
Yeah, well, basically, according to NASA, every single TV tape from every single moon mission is lost. Ask Ron Howard. He's the one who asked for them to be transferred for 70mm projection.
Okay, that's
and
Bart.
if you watch
Aaron,
his
your
movie
final
about the moon
statement.
landings, 95% of it is reenactments.
Aaron.
Yes.
Final statement.
Well, first, let me build the big picture for everybody.
Don't build the big picture now. Make your final statement.
Okay. You know, it's very challenging to try to prove we landed on the moon, and it shouldn't be challenging. The tape should be there. There should be plenty of evidence.
And Bill, you're the one guy on the panel who hasn't swung it or been punched by Buzz Aldrin. You say Buzz and his buddies really went.
Absolutely.
And the evidence overwhelming.
By the way.
Evidence overwhelming.
Absolutely.
And the
So
growing
just think about it.
skepticism
All
among
the
young
sailors
people.
on those. All the sailors on the aircraft carriers who watched the thing come back, the thousands
their
of people
story is
who
that
were
they were
at
actually
Cape
in
Canaveral.
their story is that they were in a transport airplane. They threw the thing out of the transport airplane. It landed. Anyway, I want to thank Bart Sibrel.